here we are. Thanks for tuning in. We finally had the chance out of a very busy schedule to record and finish reviewing set 76269, the Avengers Tower, that comes with over 5,201 pieces and 32 minifigures. This is absolutely one of my favorite builds to date, next to the Daily Bugle, and it has the most minifigure count and the tallest out of any modular line. So this thing stands impressively at 90 centimeters, and you can see all the details that go into the side of the building. The curve technique is really interesting as well. I'll cover that more in a second. You'll notice I added a bit of different characters on top, like the Iron Legion. For me personally, I think it would make more sense for the Chitauri if this was the start tower, but you can also go on Rebreakable and find variant where you can configure and customize this. I think Iron Legion makes more sense if it's the Avengers Tower that's supposedly based on the Age of Ultron, since we already have Ultron MK1 in here. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to talk about the build itself, the minifigures. Obviously, you've seen a lot of reviews out there, but I will personally go into specific areas where I think it could have been improved on. My biggest pet peeve is that it's kind of hard to get inside the back of the tower here after everything is being built up. So when I'm doing the review, I'm going to actually show you before everything's been built up, all the windows, everything like that, what the inside actually looks like, so you get a better idea. Please continue watching, and if you haven't, don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, let's jump right into the full detailed review, starting with the first floor. Let's go. Alright, so this is going to be the most complete review. Starting with bags 1 and 2, we have the Leviathan before we even get to 3 to 11, which composes the base structure of the building. So overall, you get Thor. It's a really nice build. I like the articulation you can see in the body as well as the wing section there. And yeah, I think it's definitely better than the version that came before for sure. Alright, so we're about to move on to the main build. These are what we're going to start with. Book 1 and the dark gray base plate, plus bag 3 that gives us all the spacing bricks to build up the section of the lobby. And you can see the designer made a little nice reference back to the first Iron Man movie here. And we have the vending machine. This is very similar, almost the same in build, I would say, to the one in the Bugle. Same with the elevator. I mean, it is a tower, so you obviously need a reception desk with monitors. And now, all right, so bag 6, you know what it is, windows. And now we're building up the pillars for the tower, and so the curved blue glasses goes around, and we can see their Technic slots for sliding in the translucent rod pieces for posability purposes. And you can see we're building up the pillars. So it's pretty much the same throughout. The only difference is really inside the level itself, but on the other side, outside, and then as well with all the windows part, it's basically just like repeated as you go up to the top of the tower. So here we have Mark 7 again with Alexander Pierce and 2 shield agents. Obviously the memorial plaque is still missing, and we have a good look at the inside of the lobby with 2 lounge chairs. This is the best look you're going to get for the lobby. Once it's been built up, you can't even see it that good. You can see it's being fully built up with monitors in the back as well as a vending machine. And this is a very iconic scene from not just the first Avengers movie, but also Endgame, leading into Loki, the series on Disney Plus, where Tony Stark is supposedly to pick up the Tesseract. You can see Tony in the back, disguised as a shield agent, and it's really hard to fit Hulk into here, but he was in the original scene. And Loki is also being confronted by Alexander Pierce, another shield agent, in this scene as well. The finished first floor gives us a double glass door into the lobby area that you can open up. So it's unlike the Bugle, there's no sliding doors here. 2 benches, and also a Bat of New York memorial. So you can see all the Avengers name from the first Avengers movie. If we remove the bench, we can see there's a piece of gum stuck underneath, with reference to Gubble Bubble from other Lego sets in the garbage can. If we turn to the back, we have Nick Fury standing here with his walkie-talkie, as well as you can see there's a Captain America poster similar to the one that's found on the Sanctum for the Captain America exhibit. And also there's a trash can in the back, also with a cardboard box, and you can see there's Captain Marvel's pager down in the bottom left. Removing the lid of the garbage can, we get leftover shawarma, as well as some twigs, and also a container for pin particles. So we continue to trend onto the second floor where we have the iconic scene of the two Captain America battling it out. And we have Vision's workbench with Ultron versus Jarvis. And you can see the arc reactor on the screen next to the Mind Stone. And with some extra ones for TVA. And we have a monitor for deployment of Mark 7. Next, we're building up the pillar to support the glass bridge, and you can see I threw this little extra piece in from a previous set just to give it a more of a tailored look. I think it looks better this way, and I'm going to start building up the glass bridge, which is built using this technique and basically a clips so the outside nest safely onto the other side, and we have the glass bridge finished. All right, now we're just building more pillars and support for this level before we build the top and also the windows on the side, 18 of them to be exact, and book 1 is finally done. All right, here's my honest review for book 1. Yes, the interior is great. However, I would say out of all 3 books, this is one of the more repetitive ones, besides building out the panel that covers the tower, simply because you're doing a lot of repetition in terms of building out the exterior windows as well as the arched blue window. You do get a fantastic scene from Endgame where the two Captain Americas are fighting it out under glass bridge that adds a nice separation in the level, giving it more depth. We also do get Helen Cho finally, and the scene from Age of Ultron where Ultron's trying to take over Jarvis's control. Overall, I give this part 7 out of 10, but let's jump right into book 2 where the meat is. We have bags 12 to 27, and we're starting out bags 12 with the Hulk Big Fig. Oh yeah, finally a removable head Hulk. This one is very movie accurate with the gray shorts. Let's jump right into the 3rd level. This is where things start to get interesting. So level 3, we have more windows and Tony's workshop with the Damage Mark 6 exclusive to the set. I think this level will be more complete if we have the ability to put in more Iron Man armors. And we also do have proof that Tony Stark has a heart, the arc reactor gift that Pepper gave to Tony, and we also have a nice little Easter egg, the cover of Tony Stark on Rolling Stone next to the elevator. And we have a hologram of Rescue. And we also do have the Roxanne barrel in the back. And then it's just the same as before. You just stack more windows, more pieces on the exterior. And you guessed it, more windows. And now the level is complete for Iron Man Workshop. In the back, we have several monitors. This was the easiest way to show everyone since after it's finished, it's really hard to see. But as you see here, we have Loki, the Quinjet, the arc reactor. This is probably the level with the most amount of stickers. For those that really don't like stickers, this is probably not your favorite level, but after we are done, we are placing this on top. And you can see we have 3 levels that are completed. I mean, it does get repetitive, but when you have all 3 levels built up, it actually looks really nice with all the Easter eggs and everything inside. Bag 17 derails a bit from building the tower itself. We have the Quinjet that fits 1 person only and that can fire studs. I think it's a nice way to get yourself kind of off the repetition of building the windows. And now this is the finished 3rd floor. So you can see Dummy is there. We got Pepper Potts with all the monitors laid out in the back. So like I said, there's a lot of Easter egg references, but this is probably the most amount of stickers on one level. One of the more interesting Easter egg that many of you might have missed is this Ultimate Ultron on a sticker sheet with the number 1968, number 54. This is the first issue where Ultron made a comic book appearance in the Avengers in 1968. So definitely a nice little Easter egg there. We have the 4th floor now with the out of order elevator with the Hulk sticker sheet. And then we place the containment chamber on top. So once that's in, it's really hard to see whatever's in the back.
and there's limited room where you can swing the doors open. And you can see now we're starting to build out the curve edge that leads up to the top of the tower. So it's going to be slanted blue bricks that make up for a relatively interesting build. And now this level is complete. Really short, but I think this is where things start to get interesting. And now we have the reenactment of the first Avengers movie where Loki's being interrogated by Black Widow in this room here. You can see Armin Zola in the back as well. And again, like I mentioned before, you can't see the elevator once the containment chamber is in, so you have to remove it to see inside, which is something I didn't really like about the tower itself, but I can't complain. And then you have another Easter egg. Who is the Iron Man on the Chronicle? This part is by far the best section of book 2, the top of the tower. So you see how it looks like when it's finished, but we start off with building out the pad where you can rest the Quinjet on. And you can see once it's being tiled up, you also get Wanda as well. And we're building out the lounge area where there's 2 sofas, and you have the coffee table where everyone's trying to lift Thor's hammer, as well as a nice reference to the Battle of New York. And now this is where all the windows get stacked. Finally, different window build, but still a lot of repetition here. And once that is completed, we first stack this on top of the containment chamber level, like so, on the other side. And once that's done, we click everything in with the Technic pins so that it's very secure. But don't drop it, please. And I'm stacking Ultron MK1, all the minifigures that are within this section. And now the lounge area with the back bar is complete with a nice houseplant there as well. With interior complete, now we have a lot of 1x8 tiles to cover up a lot of the revealing studs from before. And now just putting it onto the 3rd level here. All right, book 3 completes the very top of the tower. We have the imprint of Loki being smashed by the Hulk, and with his scepter that is being analyzed on the top, with 2 more monitors on top, as well as a section for the antenna that reaches the top of the tower. Now is my favorite, I'm just kidding, this is my least favorite part. Basically, we're building the panel that slides into the base area to essentially close up the tower. And this is what it looks like. So we still have open studs that we need to cover up with tiles. This is a really interesting build. So you get 2 rubbery elastic poles where you can slide these tiled pieces into to make the curve bend in the top of the tower. So we're clipping all the covers in. And with that, we finish most of the tower itself. Now just pin in the Avengers logo A onto both sides. This side has a small stud area where you can rest the bird. And you can see Eric Selvig with the portal machine. And my favorite part of book 3 is the deployment of Mark 7 to rescue Tony as he's being thrown out the window by Loki here, yelling deploy, deploy. Yeah, I know, right? Epic. I'm really happy they threw that in, and now we're just posing Falcon and the other minifigures as well, including the new Vision and this nice rod piece that attaches to a clip where you can adjust Hawkeye as he's shooting arrows while jumping down at the Chitauri. Honest review, books 2 and 3 were amazing simply because there weren't a lot of repetition. You have different designs and building techniques that really hits it out of the park. So if you bend the wings, you can actually fit the Quinjet, but you've probably seen other reviews too, so nothing major here, nothing new. It's definitely good. We have the inclusion of a small Quinjet for the set, along with Leviathan as well. I definitely think those are really a nice touch to the overall set itself. So how we access this is by taking off this top part that is built with 12 window panels here. You can remove this curved part. This is where we have Loki's imprints as he was smashed by the Hulk.
if you see in the very back, there's the first Avengers cover Easter egg here. First appearance of the Avengers in comic book 1963, drawn by Jack Kirby. And now we have a classic scene where we have Avengers in the lounge with a monitor that shows all their email inbox with different initials. And then you can also see the Battle of New York, Thor's hammer again, like you saw when I broke down each individual floors, and another monitor in the back showing Hulk. And we move up to Eric Selvig again. There's a ladder on the side to climb the very top. Again, nice little detail there, and also with the portal machine. And we have the antenna with Vision flying high and above the tower itself. And if we lift this cover, this is where you saw earlier in the build with Loki's scepter and the two monitors and antenna dish. Overall, for book 2 and 3, I definitely think this is the highlight of the build itself. So I'm going to give this section a solid 10 out of 10. So now we talk about the outside of the tower itself. So as you can see here, very impressive with the curved build. This part is actually added on later. So you built this part with a lot of pivot pieces here, I call them. And the only way to really access the tower is by removing this panel here. So it just rests on the bottom side here, and then you just pull it out. So it's very different than the Bugle, where it's not built up as a modular. The only way to access it is by removing this. And that's it. The tower itself is finally complete with all the posable minifigures. I threw in some Iron Legion. I love the curved building techniques here as well. And there's a nice little bird sitting there high up on the tower near the A. And we go down the front of the tower, and that's pretty much it for the build itself. Let's jump right into the figures. All right, this is definitely the highlight of the set. We have 32 minifigures if you include dummy and the MM microfig. So on the left hand side here, these are all the characters that have been reused from previous Marvel sets. We have War Machine that came out in the Iron Man Armory, as well as Loki, Captain America, Black Widow, and Mark 7 came on the Quinjet. Wong from Sanctum Sanctorum, and Wanda came out in last year's Endgame Final Battle with the waist cape. And if we slowly move to the right hand side here, we can see we finally have a detachable head Hulk with new print for Falcon, exclusive Vision, Battle Damage Mark 6, Ultron MK1, Kevin Feige, and for the first time we have S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Alexander Pierce does use the same face as Belloc, so nothing really new there, but we also do get a nice wing piece for the Wasp. And now let's jump into each individual figures, starting with my top 3 of the set and their individual pricing. Starting off the list, we have a brand new Vision with a semi-translucent leg as well as a phasing cape as well. This is my third favorite but most expensive figure in the set. It will set you back $60 to $70 according to Bricklink, and you can see the detail printing on the back and the front, especially with the gold outline, and the back of the head is just more movie accurate compared to other Visions that came before. Next, we get a very movie accurate Hulk with gray shorts and grinning, and this thing will set you back about $50 to $60. On his back, we have the only version with open studs where you can post minifigures or microfigures, and he also has a detachable head for the first time, so you can turn his head around looking in all directions, and he also has a removable hairpiece, which is pretty loose in my opinion. My number one choice has to be this Battle Damage Mark 6 armor that came out from Iron Man 2 when Tony got a new arc reactor, so we can see the triangular shape on his chest. The Battle Damage is very movie accurate. You can see it from the helmet down to the torso, as well as you can see it on the back. This thing will set you back about $50 to $60 as well. Now we have Ultron MK1, where Ultron takes control of Iron Legion and crashing into the Avengers party. This thing will set you back from $40 to $50. I really love the detailed
of all the exposed wires running through the torso and the back. It's just a lot more movie accurate than the original. Next, we have Hope Van Dyne or the Wasp with upgraded helmet as well as a new wing piece, which is a lot better than the original. And plus, she will set you back also $40 to $50, and we can see she has 2 expressions. Moving to the $30 figure range, we have a brand new Falcon with torso, legs, as well as the wing piece that are stickered on both sides. The legs are shared between Black Widow, also Hawkeye, and what I like about this version is the goggle strap actually extends to the back of the head. Next, we have a brand new Hawkeye with a new torso and the same hairpiece as the one from CMF. We can see we have his quiver and bow. Honestly, his original face would have been better swapped with the CMF as it's used countless times in other Star Wars minifigure. This figure will set you back $20. And we have the 2 Captain Americas. Both are about $10 each with alternate expressions. The one with the helmet is also found in the earlier set Quinjet last year. We're back in the $20 range with Kevin Feige himself holding shawarma in a coffee cup, wearing his iconic Avengers cap and blue blazer. Here we have the 2 Tony Starks. One of them is found in previous sets that goes for $5. The other one is $15, but the only thing unique is really the shield torso. Speaking of shield, we have 2 agents that are $15 each. Also at the $15 range would be War Machine that was released in the 2022 Iron Man Armory, and it's exactly his look from Iron Man 2. Burdened with a glorious purpose, and at $15 himself, we have Loki that was found earlier in the Quinjet set last year with a very detailed torso and leg printing as well as the back with a green sponge cape. And you can see his alternate expression when he has that muffle on as he was captured by the Avengers. Another reused Iron Man Mark 7 from the Quinjet. We have a very detailed torso and back printing here. Next, we have the 4 Chitauri's, only showing 2 here with torso and back printing, no leg printing. These are probably around $5 to date. Next, we have Wanda Maximoff or the Scarlet Witch, which has a waist cape that was found earlier in the Endgame battle set. She does have 2 expressions. I did swap out the face because this version matched the hair color better. Next, back at $20, we have the exclusive Dr. Helen Cho that we finally get. It was the missing figure from the Quinjet City Chase released way back in 2015, and we can see the backside of her as well. Again, not much to say here. It is pre-movie accurate, and she does have an alternate expression with a smirk going up the left side of her face. Next, we have Dr. Eric Selvig, played by Stellan Skarsgård. So you can see the minifigure head is using the same one as Luthen Rio when he played him in Ender, and you can see the backside. He also has an alternate expression as well. And now we have the Ant-Man microfig, about $3. And then we get Thor Odinson, the god of thunder, with lightning coming out of Mjolnir. Nothing new here, same torso as the one found in Thor's hammer set, and you can see the back here. The hair is from Mad Eye Moody, and really nothing special here. It's about, I would say, $10. At $5, we have Mr. Snakeson playing himself, Nick Fury, with torso and back printing, Black Widow, which is exclusive to the set, I think because of the arm printing as well, and she also has 2 expressions. And this version will be around $20. And we have Pepper Potts, that's around $10 to $12 exclusive to the set, but the pieces and printing are all found in other sets previously. And we have Wong found in Sanctum Sanctorum and the Advent Calendar. Next, we have a $10 figure, Alexander Pierce, who's a Hydra agent in Secret, and he has nice torso and back printing used from Bogart, from Harry Potter, and the faces from Belloc. For $500 USD or $669 Canadian, this is one of the best modular skyscraper you can own. It adds beautifully to both the city line as well as for a Marvel collector, this is a must-have. I would give this a 9.5 out of 10. It is not without its flaws, but overall, the exclusive figures makes up for that.
Alright, so we just finished the full comprehensive review finally for the Avengers Tower set 76269. If you managed to watch until the very end, thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.
If you like today's content, please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.